ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तन्न विदुः सुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। Yeah, chant from 25. दंष्ट्राकरालानि च ते मुखानि
दंष्ट्राकरालानि च ते मुखानि
दृष्ट्वैव कालानलसन्निभानि
दृष्ट्वैकालानलसन्निभानि
दिशो न जाने न लभे च शर्म
दिशो न जाने न लभे च शर्म
प्रसीद देवेश जगन्निवास
प्रसीद देवेश जगन्निवास
अमी च त्वां धृतराष्ट्रस्य पुत्राः
अमी च त्वां धृतराष्ट्रस्य पुत्राः
सर्वे सहैवावनिपालसङ्घैः
सर्वे सहैवावनिपालसङ्घैः
भीष्मो द्रोणसूतपुत्रस्तथासु
भीष्मो द्रोणः सूतपुत्रस्तथासौ
सहास्मदीयैरपि योधमुख्यैः
सहास्मदीयैरपि योधमुख्यैः
वक्त्राणि ते त्वरमाणा विशन्ति
वक्त्राणि ते त्वरमाण विशन्ति
दंष्ट्राकरालानि भयानकानि
दंष्ट्राकरालानि भयानकानि
केचिद्विलग्ना दशनान्तरेषु
केचिद्विलग्ना दशनान्तरेषु
सन्दृश्यन्ते चूर्णितैरुत्तमाङ्गैः
सन्दृश्यन्ते चूर्णितैरुत्तमाङ्गैः
यथा नदीनां बहवोऽम्बुवेगाः
यथा नदीनां बहवोऽम्बुवेगाः
समुद्रमेवाभिमुखा द्रवन्ति
समुद्रवाभिमुखा द्रवन्ति
Tatha tavami naralokaviraha.
तथा तवामि नरलोकवीराः
Vishanti vaktranyabhiviज्वलन्ति.
विशन्ति वक्त्राण्यभिविज्वलन्ति
Once again, yatha nadinam bahavombhuvegaha.
यथा नदीनां बहवोऽम्बुवेगाः
Samudramevabhimukha dravanti.
समुद्रमेवाभिमुखा द्रवन्ति
तथा तवामी नरलोकवीराः.
तथा तवामि नरलोकवीराः
विशन्ति वक्त्राण्यभिविज्वलन्ति.
विशन्ति वक्त्राण्यपि विज्वलन्ति
Naralokavirah vishanti. That is the main sentence here. Vishanti is the verb. Enter. So, still blazing, mouth with blazing fire coming out of it, etc. Same imagery. And here, Naraloka Viraha Vishanti. Previously, Dhartarashtra Putraha, Bhishmaha, or Bhishmaha, Dronaha, Ityadi. So people whom we know are all entering. Now, Naraloka Viraha. All the great people of the entire human world that we know. So all countries, everything. Because those days their economy was very high. They knew lots. They were not saying things like Earth was flat and all that. They're long gone. That's all not Indian idea. So they knew Naraloka Veera, this world of people. They seem to know some, okay, about in this Bhuloka. So Naraloka Veeraha Api Vishanti. They are also entering. Not just these our warriors, people who know, people who are in this war, who are about to fight this war, just those people. Life is both birth and death. We saw that. Vyaktam, Avyaktam. So through these shlokas, now the question is, I don't see the connection of this chapter with the other chapters. Someone very famous person asked me that question. Okay, Vijayji asked us the question. And this is the message I'm getting from all this. I must learn to accept everything. I can't say I want only heads, not tails. I can't say that. Heads will come with, tails also is coming along with it. Okay, if you buy something from Swiggy, they say, we don't know how they make, who makes it, what comes inside, everything. No, you won't know anything. Okay, convenience is there. You sometimes you do Swiggies. But then you should read the articles about what's all going on. Wherever there is room for exploitation, it will be exploited. That's it. Over. Simple as that. So you want convenience? Okay, you get convenience. But you have to be aware of other things. And so, Vyaktam is there, then Avyaktam is going to be there. That's why Shankaracharya elsewhere says, Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam Ityadi. So, that is the message I'm getting from this chapter, this entire chapter, especially these verses. And so here Arjuna gives an example. He gives an example. Yatha, just as, okay, Nadinam Bahavaha Ambuvegaha. Nadinam of the rivers, just as we have seen so many rivers are there. And of those rivers, there are many tributaries, distributaries. It's just breaking off from the river, etc. And they break off on what? They're going to some place that they want to see their relatives. They say, I want to go here like this. Then on the way, I want to see my cousin. And then like that, they say. No, the rivers are not meeting anybody. He says, Vahavaha Ambuvegaha. Ambuvega means that distributaries. Vahavaha, many of them. And where are they going? Samudrameva abhimukhaha bhavadravanti. Dravantri, flow towards what? Samudram eva, ocean alone. They seem to take detour, but then the detour is not really a detour. Eventually, the ice of the tributary of the rivers are also on the Samudram, Sagaram, eva. That is what he's saying. Look at his example. And Yatha, Abhimukha Bhavanti. Abhimukha means facing, committed towards. Whichever direction it takes, the river may make turns like this, may even go backwards. But it has not lost sight of the Sagara. It is the meaning of Abhimukha. Means Abhimukha, Abhi, that word Abhi means completely the face is facing the river, the Sagara. And the word is Abhimukha. Abhitaha is all sides. See, there is and why should they go to the Sagara? Because the source is Sagar. In this context, the source is Sagar. We can't say Gangotri is the source of Ganga. In this context, Gangotri also gets its water from Sagara only through the evaporation, etc. But then, in another context, Gangotri is the source of Ganga. That is why in Rishikesh, places where the river comes from Gangotri, keeps going all towards, going to go towards Bay of Bengal. And then, but then at Rishikesh, some places it will make a U-turn, and come back up. Some ghats and all are there like that. And they are considered even very, very sacred. You know why? Because the river is going back to the source, as it were. Going back to the mother, going back to the source, as it were. Going against the tide. Okay? Preyascha manushya. Correct? Shreyo marga. They have to going against the tide. Because the whole world says you must do this, you must do that. Shastram says you are already free. Okay? To go from I must do this to accomplish this to I am free. That's the journey that river is taking, it seems. So our rishis are not ordinary, I tell you. Amazing it is. So therefore, Yatha, just like this story of these rivers and tributaries, Tatha, so also in the same way, Ami Nara Loka Vira, these heroes, these great people of this earth, let's call it earth, Nara Loka. Okay, because it's Swarga Loka, it's the fact that Nara is used. We should just stick with Bhuloka. And so too, all these great warriors, Tava Vaktrani Vishanti Abhijwalanti. Okay. So they enter your mouth. Vaktrani, mouths. So nowhere there is singular mouth. Okay. There are mouths. Mouths and mouths and mouths where all kinds of activities going on. Okay. Vishanti, they all enter. Enter towards what? To do what? Have a picnic? No, it's not a picnic. It is, what is the emotion? Arjuna's emotion is one of fear now. And so it's just burning and blazing. So this is not a picnic. And so we have to accept that is part of life. The sooner we accept it, the better it is. I'm reminded of long ago, in the 80s, Ronald Reagan was the president of America. He had started a program called Strategic Defense Initiative. It's called SDI. If you Google, you will know. And the idea is how to protect the country. How to protect the country. Okay, protecting the country, every country has to do that. But just from this kind, is not ordinary protection. Just you should have, it's like putting a shell around the country of America. How will that look? Nobody can enter. No missile can enter. Nobody can even snoop into America. So this kind of idea. And then lots of funds. The NASA's and all the other companies who are into this aerospace and military technology and weaponry and all. They're very excited because funding dramatically increased. So we have to ask the question, is this a strategic defense initiative? And one little corona was enough to put the entire initiative to its knees and constantly at war with other countries. Red meat consumption is so high. We've been telling the world, trying to tell the world at least, you have to cut out red meat consumption. There's growth of cows, breeding of cows. I remember when I was in 30, 40 years ago, when I was doing graduate studies in America, when I was getting exposed to all these things. One good thing about going to grad school that at that time was that I got exposed to all this. Environment means what? Animal rights means what? And I was into groups where I had got so much knowledge. And there the statement was made, an alien flying through or on top of Earth or on top of America will think America is populated by cows, not by human beings. Human beings come later. The chicken and cows, the number of chicken and cows that are being grown is just massive. And so much is going on. And so, Vishanti Bhaktrani Abhijwalanti. Because that meat consumption destroys the environment. And so we are knowingly also destroying ourselves. So that was what I had in mind. So, Tava Bhaktrani. Tava is there, Ami, etc. So, enter your mouths that are blazing. Abhijwalanti. Okay, let's look at the translation here. Just as the many swift moving waters, just as the many swift moving waters of the rivers flow towards the ocean alone, comma, flow towards the ocean alone, these heroes of the world of people, these heroes of the world of people enter your burning mouths. Enter your burning mouths. Just as the many swift-moving waters of the rivers flow towards the ocean alone, comma, so too, comma, these heroes of the world of people enter your burning mouths. Next. यथा प्रदीप्तम्
यथा प्रदीप्तं
ज्वलनं पतङ्गाः
ज्वलनं पतङ्गाः
विशन्ति नाशाय समृद्धवेगाः
विशन्ति नाशाय समृद्धवेगाः
तथैव नाशाय विशन्ति लोकाः
तथैव नाशाय विशन्ति लोकाः
तवापि वक्त्राणि समृद्धवेगाः
स्तवापि वक्त्राणि समृद्धवेगाः.
So the sa is already taken up with the lokaha. Therefore, the next quarter should start with tavapi, not stavapi. Once again, yatha pradiptam jwalanam patangaha
Yatha pradiptam jwalanam patangaha
vishanti nashaya samruddha vegaha
vishanti nashaya samruddha vegaha
tathaiva nashaya vishanti lokaha
tathaiva nashaya vishanti lokaha
tavapi vaktrani samruddha vegaha.
sthavapi vatrani samruddha vegaha.
Yeah. So another example. Arjuna is in a mood to give exams. He is so terrified that he is seeing these kinds of things, the connections he's seeing. And he's talking about patangaha vishanti. That is the main sentence there. Yatha patangaha vishanti. Patangaha. So literal meaning is moth. I think patanga means moth. But it can be any insect which has the tendency to go towards bright things, like bright light. And those who grew up in India are very familiar with this. This example everybody can understand. Every Indian at least can understand. Because I remember those days, these days we have all this, we call this netlon, they call it. And it is very difficult for any insect to come. Still mosquitoes will come because we keep our doors open. At least in my home, the doors are always open. And we have to remind ourselves to close the door. But those days when we were studying, I remember the tube light will be there, and then the insects will come. All kinds of insects will be there, and we were used to it. Then somebody gave an idea. You should dip a piece of paper in oil, and then hang that piece of paper next to the tube light. Because I remember I did it once or twice, I think. But it's more painful than it appears. But it's a nice, interesting idea without any, insect repellents and all that. We used to do that. We used to try all those things because these insects are there all over. The tube light, it just used to be there all over. But here, pradiptam jwalanam patangaha vishan. Yeah, there also. So wherever there is a bright light, especially small insects on a small lamp will come, and they will just burn, or they will get stuck in the oil of the lamp. So these things are common, at least those days. And so he's giving that example. How can an insect actually kill itself? It's so odd. It's committing suicide. And does it not know that this fire will just burn it up? No, it's just going round and round and round like this. And it's a risky trip there. And so just as those moths or insects enter what? Pradipam jwalanam jwalana. Yeah. So brilliant, bright fire, blazing fire. Okay. Just as they enter. And not only enter, he is giving some adjectives. Samruddha vegaha patangaha. These patangas, and you would think they would come and then slow down and then do some pradakshina or something, Deepa Jyoti, etc. No, they're just coming at great speed, it seems. Great speed they're coming. Samruddha vegaha. And for what sake? Nashaya. Nashaya. Swanashaya. Swatmanashaya. Within brackets, you have to say Swatmanashaya. For their own destruction. Okay. That is what he is explaining. With increasing speed, they're coming. Tathaiva. Tatha eva. Exactly like that alone. Nashaya vishanti lokaha. That is Arjuna's conclusion. Lokaha, all world of beings, all world of beings. And Nashaya Vishanti. They also enter for the destruction of whom? Within brackets, you have to say of themselves, of themselves. And what do they enter? Tava api vaktrani samruddha vegaha. And these lokaha also, samruddha vegaha, increasing speed. Increasing speed. What is this increasing speed? How come are we? Can you even think of it like that? Yeah, I think so. So, asti jayate vardhate viparinamate. Until then, the story is good story to say. Correct? Everybody is good. My child is studying, going, graduated, got a job, and then moved to another company, MNC, this, that. Until then, everything is great. After that, he got married. After that, everything's good, children. And then we don't hear much from him. And then the stories are reducing after that. And then after that, the question becomes, hey, who is sicker? Are the parents sicker or we are sicker? Sicker means what? More ill. That's what I mean. Because now disease is a big thing. Because the minute you cross 40, 50, etc., then everybody has to put up with this. And so, Samruddha Vega, it looks like after some time, the sickness more and more frequent, more and more severe also. So, therefore, we can see it very well. We can see it very well. And not only that, in one's life we see it, but then with the passage of time also, if someone were to, I've not seen an article, but if someone were to compare the people of, say, 100 years ago versus people now, I'm just imagining. These days, the lifespan has gone up. And has it gone up due to our fundamentally being healthy? Or because of healthcare and other reasons, dramatically improved healthcare? Simply take one organ and replace it by another organ. And one can live for another 5 years, 10 years. Amazing it is. So fundamentally, is the human being of today healthier than the human being of 100 years back, 500 years back, 1,000 years back? Somebody has to do that. And tell me how should I understand that? What fraction of this longer lifespan is fundamentally due to my own ability and what is due to others? So if you do that, we'll be surprised to find the healthcare is definitely a big reason for the increased lifespan. And so it is very clear there also, by time also, we may be becoming weaker and weaker, lesser and lesser immunity. Correct? And we are, of course, spoiling the environment and all that. And so pollution and so forth. Radiation, cell phone radiation. There is enough stuff. We have created more stuff that did not exist those days. So therefore, that way also, if you look at it, samruddha vegaha lokaha nashaya vishanti. Okay? So, vishanti, tava bhaktrani, your mouth only. They are entering your mouth. So it's clearly, this mouth signifies time. Signifies time. Yama. All that it signifies. Kala. Yama is another name for Yama is Kala. Time. And so, of course, time includes both Srishti and Sthiti and Laya. Okay. So everything included. But Srishti and Sthiti, nobody complains about that. And we complain only when there is something happening that we don't like. We don't like. Loss, we don't like. Decline, spoiling, all that we don't like. And so, birth, everybody celebrates birth. Because birth is a Mangalam. Mangala. Srishti is Mangalam. And therefore, birth is celebrated. And, but what about death? Amangalam. Or Mangalam? We're not sure. Because it's a trick question. Oh, nobody wants death, therefore it is Amangala. In fact, people will say in our my village and all that, uh, this we are taught, without being taught, we are taught how to address the topic of death. Some ashaucham, aparakaryam, they use all these words. Aparakaryam means all the karyam that is to be done when somebody passes away. So, not only that, in common discussions, the topic of death never comes up unless somebody died. Okay, that's okay. But no elders told me ever. Hey, you know what? Life means it's a big whole thing. It includes everything. And pain, if you want joy, then pain also will be there, part of life. Nobody told me that. Even teachers in school never told me all these things. And it's very strange, it is. We have completely missed the boat. The basics have to be taught to children. And children must be so grounded in it. They say, yeah, you know what? This is how life is. Like that, if a child says, how nice it is to hear, what are you complaining about? This is how life is. A child should tell the father, slap the father like that. That's that's wisdom. That child is grounded, I tell you. And so either say everything is amangala or say everything is mangala. Death also is mangala, birth also is mangala. Then I think we are better off. Okay, that is another message that is coming out of this. Laya also, Nashaya. Nasha also is Mangala. Because without Nasha, then it will be incomplete. Because when we have food, we are boiling all these solid materials like dal, etc. We want dal to boil and nicely get cooked. And then we want it to go into the stomach and then disappear into some nice nutritious stuff, proteins and vitamins and so on. And there Vikara is very desirable. Vikara. For some things they have to change and into nicely digestible and absorbable stuff. But the same thing should apply to everything. And so Janma api, it's no different than Maranam. That kind of idea we should, even before studying Vedanta, we should get used to it. And so Shankaracharya, Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, etc., he's written like that. And so even Gita, I think we saw somewhere. Swarga. Swarga is there. Swarga is not an end. That much we know. So this, Arjuna had a question, right? He says, Yoga Brashto bhi jayati. Arjuna was worried in one of these chapters. What happens to somebody who studies all these things and suddenly dies away? Dies away. The person is, what happens? Means that concern is there. Oh my God, what happens if I don't get moksha? I'm working so hard. I'm attending all these classes. What happens if I don't get moksha? Okay, so Krishna says, don't worry. I don't know how many of you remember this. He said, don't worry.
Sixth chapter.
Sixth chapter, don't worry. Ushitva Shashwati Shamaha. That person, the punya will work in his favor. And Shashwati Shamaha, he or she may end up living for a long time in some Vargaloka like situation. And then Shuchinam Srimatam Gehe Yoga Brashtobi Jayate. That Yoga Brashta will be born in Srimatam Gehe. Means a family which prizes knowledge, which worships knowledge. Okay? And that kind of a family, Shuchinam can even be a Vedic family. Vedic family, Veda is Jnana. So, Vedic family. And so, it's very clear that even heaven is what? Amangalam. Amangala is not an end in itself. Brahmaji's life itself, in one shloka, Krishna finished Brahmaji, right? Brahma Bhogana Lokaha Punaravartino Arjuna. Okay, all that we studied. So Brahmaji himself is gone case when it comes to all these things. And so better get yourself tuned to that reality. And so, so then how do I escape this force of Kala? How do I escape? Yeah, there's one way to escape. There's only one way to escape. We all have to become Markandeya. Like Markandeya decided to hug Shiva, as it were, Atma. So that Atma Sharanagati is the only thing possible. Why? Why do you say that? Because everything I've been doing is all in the world of Anatma. And doing and getting something means Anatma. It is all karma phalam. And phalam always is temporary, anityam. And therefore, is there anything nityam? Yes, you are nityam. Beautiful it is. God is nityam, we don't say. God may be nityam, not nityam, fine. But are you nityam or not? That is what matters to me finally. So beautiful it is. And so Atma Sharanagati, Atmanam Vijanihi. That is the way to get out of this. And Arjuna is getting that idea slowly. So let's look at this shloka. Again, comma, people enter your mouths. Again, people enter your mouths with great speed. For their own destruction. For their own destruction. Their own in brackets. Just as moths enter, the blazing fire with great speed. For their own destruction. Just as moths enter the blazing fire with great speed for their own destruction, their own within brackets, parenthesis. Again, people enter your mouths with great speed for their own destruction, just as moths enter the blazing fire with great speed for their own destruction. Yeah. लेलिह्यसे ग्रसमानः समन्तात्
लेलिह्यसे ग्रसमानः समन्तात्
लोकान् समग्रान् वदनैर्ज्वलद्भिः
लोकान् समग्रान् वदनैर्ज्वलद्भिः
तेजोभिरापूर्य जगत्समग्रम्
तेजोभिरापूर्य जगत्समग्रम्
भासस्तवोग्राः प्रतपन्ति विष्णो
भासस्तवोग्राः प्रतपन्ति विष्णो
लेलिह्यसे ग्रसमानः समन्तात्
लेलिह्यसे ग्रसमानः समन्तात्
लोकान् समग्रान् वदनैर्ज्वलद्भिः
लोकान् समग्रान् वदनैर्ज्वलद्भिः
तेजोभिरापूर्य जगत्समग्रम्
तेजोभिरापूर्य जगत्समग्रम्
भासस्तवोग्राः प्रतपन्ति विष्णो
भासस्तवोग्राः प्रतपन्ति विष्णो
People are dying. No discrimination, no racial discrimination here at all. Anybody and everybody. Okay. So that's one good thing about God, He does not discriminate. So that's going on. People from all quarters are dying. And some people who are not dying are crying at the people who are dying. Okay, all that is going on. And then what about Bhagavan? What is his view about all these things? Does he have a view at all? Okay. So that is what is coming up here. Okay. And but Bhagavan doesn't show any sympathy, empathy. All the sympathy, empathy, and all doesn't seem to exist in Bhagavan's dictionary. Okay. It doesn't seem to exist because we're going to see that. We're going to see that in this shloka. He must have said, I've given you a brain. I made you different from animals. Okay. Ahara nidra bhaya maitunancha samanam etad pashubir samanam buddhi buddhi adhiko vishesha buddhirhi tesham adhiko vishesha. So I've told you adhiko vishesha. Only that buddhi which can ask, who am I? What is life? Who is God? How did God create all this? Why did I get born like this? Why do I have sorrow? These questions you must ask. Only this buddhi can ask. And I gave you scriptures. I've given you good acharyas also. They're all available. And so, and on the other hand, when they talk about some people, Swamiji says, they don't like to talk about death. Insurance policy, they won't talk. Life insurance policy. You know why? Because, no. You should not talk about death. In this house, we don't talk like that. In this house. Because a very special house, So we don't talk like that. So that kind of stigma and all may be there in some families or cultures or whatever. And so that is how we are quietly kept death away. Quietly kept away and protecting ourselves. And Bhagavan says, if you are like that, what can I do? What can I do to you? I mean, I'm on top of that. I created you. I am the one to blame for having created you also. Some people blame me for it. But sorry, this is how life is. And so, and look at this. Samastat lo, correct. Samantat lokan samagran grasamana. Grasamana. Correct. So we have to look at it as Samagran Lokan means the entire world, entire universe, right? Samagran Lokan. Then Samantat Grasamana. Grasamana means eating, basically eating and just grasping everything and eating off, finishing off. And that is the meaning of Grasam. Samantat Grasamana. Not leaving anything. Not leaving anything. Like that same, good to imagine that marriage context, Indian marriage context with a lot of food. I suppose every marriage, every country, every culture, food must be an important part. Now, I'm not seen so many cultures and all that in terms of marriage and all that. So food is generally there and all varieties of food. So like that eater who enjoys that food. I mean, they not only enjoyed the marriage, but afterwards the food is so important. The lunch is so important. And so, see, in some places in the north, what happened? Recently, somebody went, they said the marriage happened in the midnight or something, some late in the night. So I've heard that happening in the north. I think that happens sometimes. And I have a feeling, somebody has to confirm that this is because of the Mughal invaders who came and invaded our country and started taking our women and girls away. Okay. Slave trade, Banara Hete. But they used to stay away from married people. And therefore, not only the marriageable, the girls were starting to get married at younger and younger and younger ages. 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, kind of finish off. 18, 17, get her married. 16, get her married. 15, 14, get her married. 10 also get her married. Why? Because I need to protect my daughter from these ruffians. That is the one possibility. And the other thing that happened is getting married in the night. When everything is quiet, people are sleeping. Just marry them off. So let them not know that this thing is going on, because they may stop it. That may be another reason also, one factor. I don't know. And some people should do research on that and let us know how that works. Okay. So just like that person in the marriage is enjoying all this nice big, they say some 8-course meal, 9-course meal, 10-course meal, whatever course meal it is, right? So that kind of a meal is being enjoyed here. And the whole space, Akasha is the leaf, and every other object in Akasha is food for one. That is how it looks like. Samantat. Samantat means without leaving anything. And wherever you look, there is food available. It is like like the child also. If you give the child all these things, the child will be excited because there are so many different things. And imagine a young child, like 6 months or something. And then with this hand, it will pick something and put something in the mouth. And then left hand is available. Hey, he's going to say, why can't I eat with my left hand? You only have given me 2 hands. Why? Who says I should only eat with this hand? Is there any book that says all this? No. Just go after with the left hand, put like this, and then it's just smiling and enjoying. And you should be, so much joy it gives us. And so like that, like a small child, Samantha, there's no barrier, nothing, no let or hindrance. And Bhagavan is eating like this. Samantat Jwaladvihi Vadanaihi. Jwaladvihi Vadanaihi. Same. Back to the blazing mouths. Vadana. So Santakaram Bhujagashayam Padmanabham Suresh. Shuklam Varadaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanna Vadanam. They are Prasanna Vadanam because we want to see God, which is very beautiful to see. Yahan to Prasanna Vadanam nahi hai. So it is all Gora Vadanam only. Jwaladbihi Vadanaihi. Okay, blazing mouths. And then what? How is he relishing it? Is he relishing it? Yeah. Lelikhyase. Lelikhyase. Lelikhyase means Lich Dhatu in Sanskrit. We should know these things. Lich Dhatu in Sanskrit means lick. The word lick comes from lich. That's it. Okay. This has to be words like this. We have to keep on the side, and all these linguists who talk about this English and all that, we should show them this list and say, what do you talk about all this? And so Lelikhyase means you are licking. That is the meaning of Lelikhyase. Lich. Okay? And Chatna, Charvana, and all in Hindi, the words are there. So Chatna, I think. I don't know if the word chat comes from that chat. I don't know if there's a connection. So maybe there is some connection. Because chat also, it's all on the street, They mix all different things, and you never make such a thing at home, and nobody makes a thing. They can't make it. They try to make also, they won't be good. You have to go to the street and have chat. That's it, over. And only in India, you have to do that. And so I think there's some connection there. So Lelikhyase. See, in our lot more to cover. Aham Vaishwanaro Bhutva. Aham Vaishwanaro Bhutva. Praninam Deham Ashritaha. Many of you know. 15th chapter, Bhagavad Gita. Pranapana Samayuktaha. Pachamyannam Chaturvidham. So Pachamyannam Chaturvidham. I cook, as it were, 4 types of food. Chaturvidham Annam. Okay? Yeah, people will start joining. Okay, so we'll finish it now. Chaturvidham Annam. Annam is Chaturvidham, Krishna says, Bhagavan is saying. What are the 4 types of food? Shankara helps us. Shankara is saying, Chatush Prakaram. And what are they say? What is it? Bhojyam. Bhojyam means what? That which you drinkable foods. And then Bhakshyam. Bhakshyam means bite. Things you have to bite. Like rice and solid things you have to bite. So Bhojyam, Bhakshyam, Choshyam. Choshyams, things you have to suck. Like some loose mangoes and all are there, you have to suck the thing out of the fruit. That sucking is called choshyam. And 4th one, lehyam. Lehyam, I think all of you are familiar. Lehyam. Like chavanprash lehyam. So you have to put it in the mouth and what, you swallow it? No, you should swallow the lehyam. They say, the doctor says, keep it in the mouth and let it slowly dissolve. And then let the tongue do the job. The teeth should not do the job. Okay, that's called lehyam. The same thing here. Lelihyase. You're licking. Like that he says. And so, a few more portions are there in this. We'll look at it in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you.